Alright, so what are we doing here? Well, I've been putting off this project for a long time for no real reason other than I didn't want to buy the parts. I'm dealing with a Dewalt pressure washer that has a leaking front sight glass on the high pressure pump, which is why I had my little oil catch can there. Previously, I tried to fix this with a little bit of epoxy gasket maker, and it still leaked. So what I did was I went ahead and ordered up the $30 sight glass and O-ring, and we'll replace that here today. Now this should be the same whether you have the Dewalt pressure washer or the Simpson pressure washer. From what I've seen, they use the same Honda motor and the same AAA pump on all of those units. So let's go ahead and jump right into getting this thing apart. So to get started, you're really not going to need any type of special tools here. I've got a 4mm Allen for the 3 Allen bolts. I'm going to see if I can zip this apart with my little impact here. And when you do that, you're going to need a little drip tray, because if there is any oil left, it's going to try to come out the bottom. Man, and you're probably going to drop your parts into that oil tray. A little screwdriver to try and pop the sight glass out will help. You're probably not going to have all of this goopy mess that I made this last time. I guess this gasket sealer or gasket maker that I used was not for use with a oil base or petroleum based product. So now I need to get all of this out of here before I try to put that new O-ring in. All right, now that she's all cleaned up, assuming you didn't do something silly like I did and tried to fix it with some sort of other sealer, you're going to want to get your spacer ring back in there. Grab a little bit of oil for your O-ring. And then we're going to be wrapping the O-ring around the sight glass and then popping it in there. It's going to take a little bit of pressure to overcome the O-ring. Then we can put our cover back on. For the torque rating, we're looking for at least 3. Yep, should be about right. And then if you wanted to check it, you can throw a wrench on there, make sure it's plenty tight. The O-ring is doing all the sealing. Now I've got some Simpson crankcase oil. I'm gonna fill this guy up and start getting stuff wet again. It's a lot of work to wash your cars by hand. Well, I guess it's not, but when you have a pressure washer, I mean, come on. The oil that this calls for is 1540, so a relatively thick oil right up front. So it takes a little while to drain down in there. Now you can see we're full. Had I decided to do an oil change, I would have pulled the drain plug out, but the oil that was in there only had one use on it. And then when I parked the machine, it sat for a while and started leaking. So next we need to fire this thing up, test it.